The best iPhone available right now is the iPhone 11 Pro Max, but still it's an iPhone that I won't recommend to buy as of now. Well, it's been almost 10 months since the iPhone 11 Pro Max was launched, and it's still a great phone with top performance, amazing camera, excellent battery life, etc. But still, like I said, it's not a phone that I'll recommend. And we'll get to that part, but right now, let's focus on all the factors of this phone and how well it aged over the course of time. And here the unit I have, even though it's been used heavily for the past 10 months, it's still holding great in every aspect. And actually that's noticeable right when you take a look around. The premium build is still in pristine condition with minor scuffs and scratches, and the glass back, even though it's of matte finish, is holding fine. And that's the same with the side stainless steel rail. I always use a glass screen guard and hence I can't comment about the display glass, but I can comment about the buttons, which is still very tactile, and same is the case with the mute slider available. Now, as you might know, iPhones nowadays don't have a headphone jack, and hence the only port available is the Lightning port, and that's also still working great. So from a build quality and durability perspective, the iPhone 11 Pro Max is a pretty durable phone because of the excellent build quality. Now, even though I do love the premium build of the iPhone 11 Pro Max, it doesn't mean I like everything about the design. Well, there are surely certain things I don't like, and in that the first thing is that this phone is a pretty slippery phone, and that's because of the side rails and the matte back texture. Then personally, I'm not a fan of huge phones, which is what the 11 Pro Max is, but that's something which varies based on users. So overall, from the design point of view, even after 10 months, the iPhone 11 Pro Max is surely holding great. And actually, that's the same with the display used here. On first glance, it's the usual notch display we are all familiar with in newer iPhones, but here what makes it a great one is the quality. As you can see, it's a big display measuring 6.5 inches, and this is an OLED display which according to me is one of the best panels. The pixel density is high and the colors are punchy and at the same time very true. Even the viewing angles are perfect, and same is the case with the brightness level this display can peak at. It does get really bright and hence outdoor usage is not an issue, and here overall there isn't anything to complain about the display other than maybe if you want to nitpick you can point at the refresh rate which is at 60Hz. Now 90Hz and 120Hz are surely better, but here, since the overall experience is very smooth, this standard refresh rate is not something you should be worried about, and actually this smoothness is all thanks to the powerful A13 Bionic chip used here. It's still a very powerful processor and hence you don't have to think about lags or loading issues or things like that. Now as I was saying, this is not a brand new phone, but what I can guarantee is that even now if you put it in competition with any newly launched phones, this is surely going to take the first spot majority of the time. Apple knows how to control everything like the hardware and software, and hence the user experience we get out of it is always great. And yeah, since the iPhone 11 Pro Max is the best from Apple right now, your daily tasks like browsing through feeds, messaging, clicking photo, or even gaming has literally zero lags or issues. Graphic and stuff does run really well, and even then there isn't any frame drops, and also the phone doesn't get very hot even under intense load. Now this is not something majority of the phones hold well during long-term use, but here this is what makes the 11 Pro Max one of the best phones even now. And about the RAM available, well it's 4GB, and since iOS is not a very RAM hungry operating system, more than 10 apps does stay open in the memory. Then if in case you're wondering about the software version, well at present it's iOS 13.6, but you'll get iOS 14 pretty soon, and software support is a place Apple is best at. This phone will probably be supported for 5 more years, which makes it a great one in terms of long-term software support. Now coming back to the internals, well in that an important place is the storage, and that's an area where you need to focus a lot because here the base variant just has 64GB of storage, which is not what I'll recommend when you buy such a premium phone. This is a phone that will be used for a long term, and hence you need to go for minimum the 256GB option, which is the second variant. Now there is also a 512GB variant available, but that's not something most of us will need. But here why I did focus on the 256GB option is because over long term you're going to use this phone a lot, and since the camera system is impressive, most probably you'll be capturing a lot of pictures and videos, and they do take plenty of storage. Now here on the rear there are 3 cameras available, which is actually placed in this rectangular glossy finished glass portion with both the glass and the camera section protruding out, and here, since the lens glass is still scratch free, I don't have much complaints with this camera bump. And here as a memory refresher, this is the camera specs, and here all these cameras are good with the main sensor doing an impressive job and the telephoto and the ultra wide one doing a good job. The main highlight is the 12 megapixel main sensor, which does a perfect job in good lighting or bad lighting, and hence I totally love the pictures from the main camera. The ultra wide angle camera is a bit more soft, but still it's an added bonus, and about the telephoto, it also does help in some needed scenarios. And because of all this, well even now I'll rate this whole camera package as one of the top rated ones for taking pictures and the best and perfect one for taking videos. Well, this video thing might not be something you will be surprised to hear about. iPhone's strong point has always been the video recording, and this iPhone 11 Pro Max is the best phone available right now for capturing videos. Stabilization is the best with great sharpness and quality. Let it be even in a tough scenario, this camera does handle it with ease. And actually the same is applicable with the front camera too. If you rely on the front camera a lot for videos, well then this does take really good quality videos. And about the selfies, they are also the best selfies in any iPhone to date. This time the selfies are wider than normal and overall the quality is good with sufficient detailing. So that's the camera situation with the iPhone 11 Pro Max, and overall even after 10 months of launch, the camera system used here is one of the best. And again, the same thing can be noticed with the battery backup. The battery used here is of good capacity, and yet the unit I have doesn't have 100% battery health, but still I get really good screen on time. It's usually in the 8-hour plus mark, and I never run out of battery in a day's use. This phone's battery can last for 2 days after a full charge if you are an average user. And about charging, there is fast charging support as well as wireless charging support, and you even get a fast charger bundle in box with the 11 Pro series, which is great. Then some of the last things to check is first the unlocking method, which is face unlock, and it works like the usual Face ID. Speed is good and the angle of unlock is fine. Then there is IP68 water resistant rating, which means the phone is water resistant to a depth of 4 meters for up to 30 minutes, and you also get dual SIM support here, in which one SIM should be a nano SIM and the other should be eSIM. And in the display side, one thing we didn't touch is that there is no 3D touch support for this phone, and instead of that what you get is haptic touch. And since we talked about the display, well, to give a great media consumption experience paired with this great display, you also get one of the best dual speaker setup in this phone, which does produce quality sound with good loudness. And also this earpiece is a great one for calls too. And all these things are actually holding well even after 10 months of use. And lastly, the Bluetooth version used here is Bluetooth 5 and the Wi-Fi version is Wi-Fi 6. So from all this, you might get the correct picture about this phone, which is this is still one of the best smartphones available right now. The negatives to point out are very little even while comparing it with newly launched phones, and that's what makes the iPhone 11 Pro Max one of the best phones period. And the negatives to point out is that there isn't a high refresh rate screen, then there is no 5G support, and maybe you can even say that the display's design doesn't look futuristic. But all of these are not very striking or core things, and then you might be wondering, why did I start the video stating that you shouldn't buy an iPhone 11 Pro Max as of now? Well, I did mean what I said, and the main reason for such a statement about a great phone is the pricing and also the time frame. The iPhone 11 Pro Max in India starts for a price tag of 1,17,100 Indian rupees, and for that what you get is the 64GB storage variant, and if you want the better storage variant, the pricing changes to 1,31,900 Indian rupees. That's a big price tag, and right now since it's August of 2020, the update cycle for the iPhones is right around the corner, and hence buying the iPhone 11 Pro Max or even the iPhone 11 Pro is something I'll never recommend. This phone is going to be replaced by probably a much better iPhone in maybe 2 months, or maybe in 2 months the price tag of the iPhone 11 Pro series will go down. And that's something which is sure to happen, and since we know that, it's not a good move to invest in such a premium device. Now if you have an iPhone 11 Pro series, well, you have one of the best phones with you right now, which will probably be supported for 5 more years, and in that regard, you don't have to think about upgrades or anything. But for everyone who's planning to buy a new top-of-the-line iPhone, you should for sure wait for the next gen iPhones to launch. That's all for this video guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If so, a like is much appreciated and a sub will be great. See you in the next one. Till then, bye.